My name is Matt Brazel, and I'm a solution consultant here at ServiceNow with a focus in our IT asset management solution on the platform. And today I'm here to discuss what's new in the Utah release associated under ITAM, and specifically the new resale workflow as part of our enterprise asset management solution. This presentation may contain forward-looking statements that reflect the beliefs of ServiceNow as well as current information available, and any forward-looking statements should not be relied upon in making any purchasing decisions. So for today's presentation, again, I'm going to be covering the enterprise asset resale workflow, and this is an out-of-the-box workflow as part of the Utah release to be able to resell any assets to make sure that you as an organization are reducing waste and saving cost where possible inside of enterprise asset management. And ultimately, this is going to allow our customers to be able to create an asset resale flow for any assets under the enterprise asset environment, ultimately to be able to resell back to gain value and financial dollars back as part of the asset resale. And I will now step into a live instance for the live demonstration portion of this video. So here in the enterprise asset workspace is where we're going to be able to see resale orders and kick off the workflows and complete any tasks associated. So this table is showing me all of the resale orders that have been generated in my environment, along with the stage of life cycle it's in, whether it's in draft or been completed, who this resale order has been assigned to, as well as any associated location, as well as any certificate of resale or vendor that we're working with for the resale itself. I'll go ahead and get into one of these to showcase the workflow itself. And here we can see the resale order request. And we can see any of the assets inside of our environment that are being associated with this resale. And I can come in and see the task that's been generated as part of this workflow. We can see the first task is going to be to verify the assets that we've identified for resale. So I can come in, see all of the assets that have been associated, and I can go ahead and verify these assets, indicating that they are ready to move inside of this workflow and close the task. Now, as part of this workflow, upon completion of that previous record, we'll go ahead and get another task indicating that we need to schedule pickup of the assets that are going to be resold. And this is where we can see all of that information. We have the vendor already been identified, and I can come in and indicate when we're going to schedule this pickup date, as well as provide any vendor identification information. So now that we've scheduled the pickup, we're actually going to indicate whether or not the assets have been picked up by the vendor themselves. So as part of this task, we're going to need to indicate the contact from the vendor that picked up the assets. And we'll go ahead and be able to close this task. Now we can see that no assets have been verified for departure. So inside of this workflow, we do have out of the box checks, if you will. And this is where I need to actually come in and indicate that these assets have been picked up and have departed the organization for resale. So now the assets have been departed, a couple of days would likely pass, and we then get confirmation from the vendor that they have received the assets. And we would then just come in and close this task, indicating that the vendor has in fact received the assets. And then as a final step here, we're going to be able to attach any resale documentation that would need to be attached, indicating for auditing purposes whether or not these assets have been fully disposed of. So I'll just go ahead and upload a document here. So now that we've attached that file, I need to come in and indicate all of these assets have been sold. Now come in and select sell. And this is where we'd come in and indicate the value of these assets as being resold by the vendor. And this would indicate the financial value that these assets were sold at and any finances returning back to the organization as part of this resale workflow. So now that we've moved through this entire workflow, I'll come back into the enterprise assets and we can see that their state inside of the system has been changed to retired and the substate has been sold, indicating that they've moved through this resale workflow. Thank you so much for watching this video today on the Utah release pertaining to resale of enterprise assets. If you have any questions around the Utah release or enterprise asset management on the platform, I encourage you to reach out to your account executive and we can get you more information. Thank you so much.